Hello students, I am Prakashi Gangwani from Regional Institute of Education, Bhopal, and I am a student of B.Ed Language and Social Sciences. So today we are going to cover the last chapter of your book, An Alien Hand, and the name of the chapter is An Alien Hand. So it is a very interesting, creative and innovative story which is written by Jayant Narlikar. So, have you heard anything about alien? Do you know what alien means? So, alien means anything which is not known to us. We don't have any idea about this. For example, we do not know about the people of planets other than the Earth, so we call them alien. If we don't know any language, we call it as an alien language. So, have you heard of the Viking mission to Mars? The National Aeronautics and Space Administration's, that is NASA's, Viking mission to Mars was composed of two spacecrafts, that is Viking 1 and Viking 2, each consisting of an orbiter and a lander. The primary objectives were to obtain the images and samples of the Martian surface and soil and search for any possible signs of life on Mars. So the difficult words here are orbiter. It is a spacecraft which is designed to go into the orbit, especially one that does not land, means it moves around the surface of the planet. The second one is the lander, that is a spacecraft which is designed to land on the surface of the planet or moon and collect the images, the soils or the materials we need. And the third word is Martian, that is relating to a planet Mars or its supposed inhabitants. So basically, NASA in this mission wanted some information regarding the marks such as image of the Martian surface, the soil, to know that is life possible on Mars or not. Let's see what happens. So Viking 1 was launched on 20th August 1975 and arrived at Mars on 19th June 1976. Viking 2, that is the lander, it was launched on 9th September 1975 and entered the Mars orbit on 7th August 1976. Besides taking photographs and collecting other science data on the Martian surface, the two landers conducted 3 biology experiments to look for any possible signs of life. But as of now, there is no clear evidence of the presence of living microorganisms in soils near the landing sites. So even after doing 3 biological experiments and missions, we still do not have any evidence to prove that is life possible there or not. Let's now get into the story. But before we read, we must know there is a boy called Tillu and his parents. They live beneath the surface of a planet under some artificial conditions. Tillu has heard and read about the sun and the stars. He has never seen them. Tillu's father goes to work through a secret passage and Tillu wants to know all about it. So artificial conditions here means that the air, the sunlight, etc., the gases, they were present but not in a natural way, but in an artificial way, using the machines. So as that family lived underground, he has not seen suns and stars, but he has read about it. He was very curious to know where his father goes. Let's read now that will he be able to know this or not. Tillu, how often have you been told not to go that way? But why does daddy go there every day? Because that's his job, Tillu. That way was an underground passage. Tillu's father went every day for work along that passage, and every day he came back from that direction. So students, this is the conversation which is going on between Tillu and his mother. She asks him not to go in that secret passage, but Tillu says, "This father goes, I also have to go." He also wants to go there. She explains him that he goes because it's his job. You cannot go there. What lay at the end of their forbidden route? Not only Tillu, but the great majority of community would have liked to know. Tillu's father was one of the selected few permitted members to go that way. The above conversation invariably took place between Tillu and his mother whenever he insisted on following his father. The difficult words in the above text are lay. That means to put somebody or something gently or carefully. The second one is forbidden. That is not allowed or banned. The third word is invariably. That means always. So, along with Tillu, all the other people of that community wanted to know that what is there at the end of this passage. And Tillu's father, he was permitted to go in that passage. So this was a regular conversation that took place between Tillu and mom. He insisted to go there, but her mother never allows him. Today, however, was different. Tillu's father was enjoying a siesta at home and Tillu managed to get hold of the security card. Then, evading his watchful mother's eye, Tillu made his way to the forbidden passage. A metal door barred his entry, but Tillu had watched his father slip the magic card into a slot. He did the same and door opened noiselessly. The difficult words in the above text are siesta. That means a short rest, an afternoon nap. Second word is evading. That means to escape. And the third word is bed. That means closed or secured. So students, today was something different. As his father was enjoying his sleep in the afternoon, Tillu found his security card, like an ID card. Escaping from his mother's eye because she always used to keep an eye on him, that where he goes, what he does, etc. And finally, he made his way to that forbidden passage, that banned passage. So there was a metal door at the entry which was closed. He saw his father putting that magic card into the slot, so he did that same and the door opened without making any noise. A well-lit passage seemed to beckon him. Snatching the card which had come out of another slot in the wall, Tillu started his march along a gentle upward slope, for the passage led from the underground habitat to the surface of the planet. The difficult words in the above text are beckon, that means to invite. Second is snatching, that means quickly seize. And the third is habitat, that means a shelter or home. So as that door opened, various types of lights invited him to come and get inside. There was one more card that came out of another slot. So he immediately took that card and moved forward. It was an upward slope because they lived underground and they wanted to go to the surface. Tillu looked forward to seeing the sun if it was a daytime or the stars if it was night, about which he had heard and read so much, but alas, that wasn't to be. Tillu had underestimated the security arrangements. Invisible mechanical devices had already detected and photographed the small intruder, sent his picture to Central Bureau where it was thoroughly checked. The difficult words in the above text are underestimated. That means regard someone as less capable than they really are. Second one is detected. That means to be found out. Third is intruder. That means a person who enters without permission. So he was very excited to see the sun and the stars if it was day or a night, as he has read a lot regarding them. But poor him. Tillu thought that no one would stop him as he had the card. But the powerful and invisible mechanical devices detected him as an unknown person and photographed him, and the photos were sent to their main office, that is the Central Bureau. And before he had advanced 10 paces, a strong hand fell heavily on his shoulder. Gently but firmly, he was escorted by the security staff and back home to an anxious and angry mother. So the difficult words in the above text are paces. That is a person who intrudes specially into a building with a criminal intent. The second one is escorted. That means taken or led. And the third word is anxious. That means feeling or showing worry, nervousness. Before he could even walk 10 steps, a strong hand fell on his shoulder. He was caught and very gently he was sent back to his home to his angry mother. While he was being scolded, he received help from an unexpected quarter. "Let me explain to him, darling," said his father, who had just got up from the nap. "If he is properly briefed, he will not do such thing again." He started to explain. The difficult words in the above quarter are pity or mercy. Next word is briefed. That means told or informed. So when Tillu came back, his mother started scolding him. I'm sure you can guess how he would be scolded by his mother. But his father came and said, "Please stop. Let me explain to him everything in detail and in a proper manner so that he does not repeat this again. Listen, Tillu. I work on a surface where an ordinary person cannot survive because the air is too thin to breathe and where the temperature is so low that you would freeze to death. But Daddy, how do you manage to survive?" "Because I go well equipped in a special suit with a reservoir of oxygen." The difficult words in the above text are well equipped. That means supplied with all the necessary equipments. The next word is reservoir. That means a supply or source of something. So the father told that the surface on which he works, there are no normal conditions there. No one can survive there as there is no oxygen, no hydrogen and other gases, no suns, no stars. And the second, the temperature is so low that anyone can freeze to death due to cold within seconds. Tillu asked him that if he cannot go, then how do you go? So the father replied that he goes well equipped, means having all the equipments. That means he takes all the precautions and the suit has a tank of oxygen so that they can breathe. I can keep warm and my boots are specially designed to make it easy for me to walk on the surface. What's more, I've been trained to survive and work on the surface. There was a time when our forefathers lived on the surface quite naturally. Indeed, they did so for millions of years, but times changed. So the father tells him that, "Dear Tillu, the suit keeps him warm and his shoes are specially designed so that he can walk on that surface. Moreover, he is properly trained to work in those conditions." The father also told Tillu that once there was a time when their forefathers, means their ancestors, could live in that surface naturally without any need of suits for a very, very long time. But then things changed, time changed. The very sun, which had provided us with sustenance, turned hostile. It changed only slightly, but the change was sufficient to upset the balance of the nature on this planet. First, the birds became extinct, the animals followed, the fish couldn't bear it anymore. The difficult words in the above text are sustenance. That means the process of making something continue to exist. The next word is hostile. That means showing or feeling opposite. So the father continued to tell you that the sun that gave us the strength to live in that surface during their ancestors' time, they provided us light, the air, the oxygen. They all started changing, means being opposite to what it should be. The temperature of the sun changed slightly, but that was enough for our planet to not bear that change. First, the birds died, then all the animals died. Even the fishes could not survive there anymore. We managed to survive only because of our superior technology. but we were forced to live underground under artificial conditions. Thanks to solar energy, we can generate sufficient power to make our life comfortable. But the machines which make this possible must always be in good working condition. So the father tells Tillu that only we could survive, that too because of our artificial conditions. We could still not live on that surface. We had to go underground and live in the artificial conditions. We still have solar energy to have a comfortable life and run our technologies. Just like an AC, it is all okay till it works properly. But once it is switched off or it stops working, the trouble arrives. Some of them are on the surface. I belong to the team whose responsibility is to keep watch on them and to service them. Daddy, can I come join the team when I grow up? Of course, if you want to, said his father. So few machines are on the surface of the planet, means above underground. And I am in the team who takes care of those machines, the father tells Tillu. So now Tillu asks his father that can he join the team when he grows up? The father said, of course, why not? But for that, you must be a good boy and do as your parents tell you. His mother, as usual, had the last words. As usual, the mother said, if you want to go with your father, you have to be a good boy. And for that, you have to do as your parents say. So this was the first part of the story, An Alien Hand. Now, let us see the questions of the comprehension check of this part. The first question says, how does Tillu manage to find his way to the forbidden passage? So Tillu was very inquisitive to know what was so dangerous in the place where his father worked. When Tillu's father was enjoying a siesta at home, he managed to get hold of his security card, and by evading his watchful mother's eye, Tillu made his way to the forbidden passage. The second question is, what did Tillu hope to see once he emerged from his underground home? Tillu hoped to see the sun if it was a day or the stars if it was night once he emerged from his underground home. The third question is, why did Tillu's father advise him not to try to reach the surface of the planet? So Tillu's father was not angry or upset with his son's inquisitiveness. Instead, he advised Tillu not to try to reach the surface of the planet because an ordinary person could not survive there. The air was so thin to breathe and temperature was so low that one could freeze to death. Some special kind of clothing was necessary to survive in the planet, which had very less air and freezing temperatures. The next question is, what changes had occurred which forced people to live in the underground homes? So the environment in which man lived gradually underwent a change. Due to these changes, the temperature rose very high. The sun's heat was unbearable, but man could sustain it due to innovations in technology. He sought newer means to make life comfortable. However, the change was sufficient to upset the balance of nature. The fishes died, the birds died, and even the animals couldn't bear it and became extinct. This forced people to live in underground homes. So students, this was the first part of your last chapter, An Alien Hand. I hope you have understood it well and even you are excited to know what happens next. So we will meet in the second part soon. Till then, keep revising.